Clergy sex abuse hotline set up here in Western Mass are taking calls. This following the news this week that former Catholic priest Richard Levine, long considered a suspect in the 1972 death of a 13-year-old altar boy, would have been charged with his murder if he hadn't died last week.
Both the Springfield Diocese and the Hampden District Attorney's Office are encouraging people to report allegations, but one advocate for victims has questions. Western Mass News reporter Leon Purvis joins us live, getting answers for us tonight. Leon?
Jordan, Chris, two abuse hotlines, both encouraging victims of clergy sex abuse to call in. But one advocate for survivors tells me there's a first step all survivors should take.
Certainly in the past week, we've received a number of calls from individuals who have expressed their outrage and their anger and their frustration.
Jeffrey Trant oversees the clergy sex abuse hotline put in place by the Diocese of Springfield in 2020. He tells Western Mass News since the news this week about deceased former priest Richard Levine being formally connected to the murder of 13-year-old altar boy Danny Croto nearly 50 years ago. No calls have been coming into the hotline, but he says
we have not received any increase in calls to our hotline to report any allegations of abuse.
But we're told in the case of abuse claims that do come in, the diocese work closely with the district attorneys in Western Mass.
The diocese suspends any sort of fact-finding while an allegation is under review with the district attorney's office. It is so essential that the crime and the heinous crime of sexual abuse, whether it happened a year ago, 5 years ago, or 50 years ago, must first and foremost be assessed and investigated by law enforcement.
However, Michael McDonnell, communications manager for SNAP, which stands for Survivors Network of Those Abused by Priests, tells Western Mass News he questions the outcome of victims only reporting their claims to the diocese.
Survivors should go to secular authorities first. Survivors need to call local law enforcement and report the abuse, no matter how long ago it took place, before calling or at all calling the diocese.
To that point, both the Springfield Diocese and the Hampden District Attorney's Office have separate clergy sex abuse hotlines set up, but do appear to work together. In a statement to Western Mass News, Hampden District Attorney Anthony Gallooni says, "We executed a memorandum of understanding with the Springfield Diocese to memorialize and clearly define the process for their reporting of sex abuse claims, and we worked to prosecute former priest Richard Levine." If you missed those hotline numbers, we have them on our website, westernmassnews.com. Now, stay with Western Mass News both on air and online as we continue to get answers for you, and we'll bring you new information as soon as we get it. For now, live in Springfield, Leon Purvis, Western Mass News.